Right. Hello everyone, and welcome to FORL for GP1 for round 6 at Germany. I'll find the first car out on track if I can find him. It was a fortunately I definitely saw. I think he was first car out. Anyway, as we say, welcome to FORL. We're at Germany at the Hockenheim Ring? Indeed, I think it is the Hockenheim Ring. So, an interesting track for the drivers to tackle this afternoon. This afternoon. We have 19 drivers taking part in this round, with some new names to report. SVGE Aqua being one of them. Sortable Paper in the McLaren, SVG Aqua in the GE and the Ferrari. MIA Miley in the Force India, who we're on board with at this moment in time. And I think that is all the new people we need to take note of. We're just following Miley through on his lap. So, what times do we think are going to be looking for? We're just going to do a few on-board shots from the Force India driver. I would think with this quality of field, and with some of the drivers I recognise, of course, I would definitely say we'd be looking at, I would say about maybe low 12s, maybe low 12s, high 12s, high 12s, low 13s perhaps. The tyres on offer for this round are the mediums, softs and ultra softs. So we've got this big jump with no one tyre difference between the ultras and the softs. So for the most part, the drivers probably most likely will be doing the strategy of going for, I would think, the softs if it was dry, but I'm noticing everyone is on the ultras. No, he's on the mediums, so timings are a little bit glitched. Sorry about that, that's in the background. So it looks like the tyres were a little glitched out. People are indeed on the mediums, and we're probably going for a few runs and going on to the softs to get their fastest lap. Otherwise, as infrastructure goes in the ultra softs and denies, and immediately takes back what I just said. So, new guy to the league, of course. SVGE Aqua is his first race. He'll be looking to show what he can do in the Ferrari, bring some pedigree and luck back to that team. That has been kind of missing from that team, and be a bit more consistent in real life than that team's been. As Benzler pops himself into P2 at this moment and time. So the drivers, of course, at the moment will be doing their sighter laps. So at the moment they won't be really posting the top times. But I would say if one person, of course Infamous has already done his lap on the Ultrasoft, I'd say a lot of people are going to follow suit. So the tyre strategies for this round, I would definitely say, if you're on the Ultras, it's most likely going to be, I'd say, Ultras is going to be a 2-stop, Ultras to 2 super softs. But if you're outside the top 10, it will probably most likely be either softs onto the mediums or the mediums onto the softs, which is going to be an interesting one and will depend entirely on the weather for the race. As per usual, don't know anything about the weather for the race beforehand, as the drivers don't really say anything. Also, if you do notice any glitches at all, it's because of the fact sometimes this game is a little buggy. Really can't do much about that, as I found out when I was doing a league race on Sunday. They disconnected me, even though I had decent internet, and yeah, that was fun. So anyway, he's coming to the pits, so he's not going to be improving. He's not going to be setting that lap time. And I've actually had something I've had recently glitch with this game is it's showing everyone on ERS mode 0. Looks like that has actually fixed itself. So good news is hopefully we shouldn't have that issue in future. Also, apologies about any issues with stream quality last week. There was a few little incidences where the connection did drop occasionally, so I can only apologise for those in last week's stream. And the only other thing to note is hopefully I'm louder than last week, because I looked over last week's stream and I was very quiet. So hopefully this week is better. As Tom Battlers pop themselves into P8. As it'll look like the Infamous will be going back in another set of the Ultra Softs. A little bit of mix of strategies going on at this moment in time. We've currently on board with NW No at this moment in time. Not really the best of luck this season so far. As Key Mirror goes to the top, proving on Infamous's time, and No, unfortunately, was not able to get a decent lap in. He's actually not currently on a lap, so we'll go back on to Infamous, who is one of the contenders for the championship and has had mixed form in the races so far. He's had some decent races, but then he's also counterbalancing. He's had some difficult races to go along with it. So let's see where he's going to start his lap on the Ultra Soft tyres. Not the most durable of race tyres, although it's saying ultra softs, but he's actually, I think, on mediums. So I think that is a glitch. So ignore what I was saying earlier on about him being on the ultras. Thanks, game, for once again being buggy. And great, that one. In this, yep. Okay, that's fine to know. Going to fitted rather than best. The drivers, of course, will be looking at, of course, mentioned earlier on, a few laps, say cycle laps, on the medium tyres. So you also see a few drivers, Validate, Viper, the Hungarian, Miley and Sura are on the softs, so they will be preparing for those, preparing to do their laps. They're sort of a one-shot quali, if you must, with the obviously only having one set of the soft tyres, of course. So really you kind of want to do your lap when there's going to be an optimal temperatures. As Infamous has done one lap and he's only just slower than the Williams of Key Mirror, who's currently in pole position. As Kowalski has dived into the pits and is backed out of his lap. The Ferrari man, one of the new drivers, has now popped himself into P6 from where I saw him earlier on, which was not his quickest time, and is proving he's worth the one. We've noticed drivers when they've came into this league from their first time. I mean, the key example here being Vasar Serra. He proved very worthy of what he could do, and from that he's had mixed fortunes since. Like, I think it's dependent on the conditions. Serra really likes the sort of more damp, wet conditions. They really seem to suit his driving style. I think the Ferrari driver is not on a lap, so we'll go back on board with Tom and find out how he's getting on. As I say, again, very much like most of the drivers, he's kind of had varied form. He's had some good races, and he's obviously within the championship fight, and he's actually, I think, on indeed the actual ultra soft tyres. Indeed he is. This isn't actually a glitch this time, just making sure. And he will be going for his first lap, and really just to see the pace setting, because the ultras, of course, being the quickest tyre, you really don't want to be doing more than one lap on these tyres though, because they're not exactly the most durable. They're kind of like the tracks they're used on, like they're kind of about as durable as the hypers at Singapore. They only really last for about maybe 5 laps if you're lucky, and then they just suddenly drop off. So I have to see if if some of these drivers will be tire-saving gods with these ultras and actually be able to make the one-stop work. And I think if they want to make the one-stop on these tires, it's going to be a very long stint. My Lee's popped himself up into P3 on the soft tires in the Force India there. Just seen that in the pop up there. So good job from him. And as here comes Top Tom down. Nope, he is backed off of his lap. Miley carried on for another lap as the Hungarian has gone to the top. And he has backed out as immediately from that. So Miley has actually carried on. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly there. That's kind of just the way I see it. Looks like he is indeed carrying on. And as new drivers, of course, it can be a daunting thing coming into a new league. And it's kind of just... Sometimes you need to bring in new members occasionally if people drop out to keep the numbers up of leagues, and really more people sometimes equals better races. Not always the case, as has been proven with some of the races I have actually taken part in myself. So it's really the calibre of driver is kind of important, as he's very low on ARS, so this is probably going to be his second lap and probably his final lap on this tyre. So what is he going to do? It's going to be a 1:12.0, and he's I think he just improved. Visar Serra has popped himself into P5 on the medium tyre, so very good lap there from him. So the drivers now will be looking at trying to just... Now, the ones who've done their laps will be coming back in and possibly even thinking about the ultras if they want to go for track position. Really about this, it's do you want to go for the... That camera, by the way, so I'm just going to put it on there while we're going down the straight. Down there while you're looking at the rear wing, not really a useful camera angle. So it's all really about the ultras. Do you want track position? Because the ultras will give you track position, but it'll leave you in a worse tyre when it comes to the race. But if you want to go for it and you can do it, then using the softs will give you will have you further back on the grid, but will mean that you have a better race strategy. Of course, the softs to the mediums, if you're in the top 10 on that strategy. The mediums to the softs the other way around if you're outside the top 10, or the softs to mediums, which also work if you're outside the top 10. Let's see if Urban Unicorn can improve on his current P8 position. He goes P2. Very good lap, a 1:11.7. Just shy of the Hungarian's pole time. Have a look and see what the current gap is. It's currently 0.067 between first and second. It is then a current down towards P3. It's Keen Mirror in P3 by 1/10 of a second, and it's Infamous, who is within 2/10 of the pole time. Miley in 5th, who is currently within 3/10. Sarah's within 4/10. And on the same time as Top Tom, actually, just noticed that very cunningly. Kowalski in P8 is only half a second off. SVGE Aqua is only 6/10 off, and Amazed, and who finishes off the final spot in the top 10, is 7/10 off, and he's just quicker than Validated Viper by 0.20 of a second, as Validated Viper has retired from the session, so he will not be improving on that P11 position. Don't exactly know what happened to him there, so he will not exactly be pleased about that one. As Urban Unicorn will be coming round to finish his second lap on these tyres. He's very low on ARS. Can he improve on the pole time? Yes, he can. It is a 1:11.5 for the Alfa Romeo Sauber driver. And he takes pole position by 0.88 of a second from the Hungarian, who's still currently in the pits. On board with ADT Kowalski now, and he is on a lap currently with very low fuel, so it looks like this will be his final lap on this particular stint as well, with 3 minutes 25 on the clock. So the drivers now will be looking at getting their timings down and trying to find a little bit of clean air and trying to improve on their current positions, as it's very wide there from Kowalski, so he would have lost a little bit of time, once again very wide, and losing a little bit more of the curb than really necessary, but he still gets pole position by 1/10 of a second, a 1:11.4 for the McLaren driver. Very good lap there. Find Infamous now, who has just started his lap in the Mercedes. as he heads down towards the end of the first sector. Very important to... One thing to note about this track is it will eat up a lot of ERS as well, so you'll see the drivers mess around with the ERS modes quite a lot through some of the slower sectors to save ERS. Not the worst track in the world for using up ERS, the worst track in that case would be Baku. But very different to this track, of course, in terms of technicalities of the track, sort of how it is, as Tom123 for the win takes pole position, a 1:11.2, 2/10 of a second quicker than ADT Kowalski. Sorry, just missed that right there. Looks like Key Mirror's also on a lap. Whereabouts is he on the track? He's currently just going across the line as Kowalski has retired from this session. He will not be going any quicker than his current second place position. Look, Tom Battlers has actually popped himself up ahead of VSR Infamous. So here comes Infamous through what will be the final sequence of corners. Very important not to corner cut. It's very easy to actually corner cut on this track. And he goes P2, within 1/10 of the pole position of Tom123 for the win. On board with Key Mirror, seeing what he can do in that Williams car, as we have a car weaving around in the background as Mighty Dillon has retired from the session. He will not be improving on his P14. We have almost everyone out on track. To note, the new guys who's currently doing the best is Maya Lee, who's currently in P8 and is in the pits. The Urban Unicorn is retired from P4. And that will be the end. He's 3/10 off the pole position lap times. The Hungarian will be coming out. I don't know. We might be able to get a lap in that time. As here comes Key Mirror through the final corner. What is it going to be? It's a 1:11.4. He's quicker, but and he improves. And it was within 2/10. A Sortable Paper has actually popped himself at P5, but he's on the ultra soft tires as VSR Sarah sets the pole position lap time with 40 seconds to go, and it is Indivino retires from the session. Very good lap there from the Haas driver as VSR Infamous now crosses the line and takes pole position. Trying very hard to keep up with these at this point. And he now has pole position by 0.075 of a second. The top three separated by 1/10 of a second right now, as Tom123 retires from the session, so he will not be improving on that P3 as we have 15 seconds left. Is anyone still going around? Sarah's got a 5-second grid penalty for colliding with Sortable Paper, so he's not going to be amused considering he's just qualified second. I don't exactly know what happened there, and it looks like we still have a few drivers who are currently going around. As Miley is actually seen the checkered flag, and he's fell way down as SVG Aqua has crossed the line, and he will qualify no higher than P13 as Miley has dropped to P14, and it looks like that SVG Aqua is actually going to get the best of the new drivers. Actually, no, Sortable Paper is going to do that, but I think Sortable Paper may well be in trouble afterwards from the stewards, possibly, depending on what happened right there. Sortable Paper is retired from the session as here comes Top Tom around the final corner. Can he go quicker on his time? It is P4 for the Alfa Romeo Sauber driver, within 3/10 of the pole time. Go on board to find the Hungarian, and he looks like he's actually decided to back out of that as he didn't want to go quicker. As we have Killer Snipes away out there in the track. That's not really the track, you know. I think he's completely out of fuel, and I think he may well struggle. I think he's actually just about run out of fuel. Nope, he's just waiting for us to come back on track, which is a little bit strange right there. So it is VSR Infamous who's on pole position for the German Grand Prix here at Hockenheim, and he will be hoping to turn this pole position into a race win. Coming up very shortly as Killer Snipes has retired, and we will just wait for Infamous to retire, and that will be that for qualifying. And there we go, very, very hastily done. So, we will get to the qualifying results in a brief second. So, as here we go. It is VSR Infamous on pole position 0.076 from DSR Sir. Has a 5-place grid penalty, so he will drop down. Tom 123 for the win. Takes P3 with Top Tom in 4th. Key Mirror in P5. ADT Kowalski in P6. AK in P7. Sortable Papers in P8. The Urban Unicorn is in P9. And Hungarian completes the top 10. Killer Snipes, Tom Battlers, SVG Aqua, Miley 41, ESR Amaze, Validated Viper, Mighty Dylan, Benzeler, and NW No will have free choice of tyres, with NW No not setting a lap. As we now wait for the drivers to sort out, we'll want the drivers load in the drivers to sort out their strategies, and then we will get going for the race. Looks a little overcast actually, note as well, so we could potentially have some rain. Who knows? As Killer Snipes is the first one to throw the gauntlet in and be ready, so he will be. The others just following suit slowly after. And so, can VSR Infamous keep his lead going into turn 1 from Tom 123 for the win? We'll have to see off the front row. And we'll have to see if anyone further back can spring a surprise in terms of where they actually start. So we will start on the formation lap. Bring up some of the details. There we go. So, as of course, top 10, or as they say, Killer Snipes in P11 is in the softs. Tom Battlers in 12th is in the softs. SVG Aqua is gone for the mediums. And behind him, Miley 41 and ESR Amazed have gone for the softs. Validate Viper in P14, P16 has gone for the mediums. In between, sandwiched in between is Mighty Dylan's in P17 on the softs. Benzeler in 18th on the mediums, and NW No the back is on the media as on the softs. So it's only, as Benzel has already been disqualified from this session, so congratulations to you, sir. First person to do so. We're gonna hopefully we could have had everyone go through the formation lap. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Sortable Paper, I think, is going to be in trouble because he's the only one on the Ultra Soft. He will have grip for the first few laps of the race, but then he will struggle to keep grip late as we go later on into the race and into his first stint. So we'll expect to see him drop back, as he will probably most likely have to do a 2-stop unless he can make the 1-stop from Ultras to Mediums work. In which case that will be an amazing feat, I'd say, because the Ultras around here do not last long, as mentioned earlier on. So, as to note, it is a Mercedes who leads the pack as they come into the final corner, and it is a Mercedes at the back, so really Mercedes bookmark both ends of the grid. He's not really had a lot of help from his teammate, NW No, so really he will be hoping to have some kind of luck and get his teammate at some point maybe to help him on the points tally. Now, the constructors probably isn't so important, as it was only Benzeler who was disqualified from the formation lap, so well done to the rest of the drivers on not having trouble. It looks like Sarah was dropped to P7 on the grid, so it could have been worse for him, as the drivers are coming around to complete the formation lap. A very short lap around here, as we've seen from qualifying. It was about 1 minute 11 lap times, 1 minute 12s. So we're expecting about maybe 1:14s, maybe 1:15s in the race trim. So as here we go, as the lights will be coming on any moment now. We have the lights, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and long hold, and away we go. Great start from VSR Infamous, who gets away cleanly from pole position. Following in behind it's Tom 123 for the win. In behind them it's Key Mirror, who's managed to keep P3. He's actually side by side with Eke for P3. Eke actually gets P3 off of the Williams driver. They're still side by side though, so it's 2 by 2 for the most part, right behind. Sortable Paper still managed to keep hold of P7, I think, as Sarah's actually managed to get up 1 position. Is very close. Look at the amount of cars in the camera shot right there, as it looks like they're still side by side. Eke's managed, he's still round the outside, he's got the inside line. Key Mirror leaves him the space, and it looks like we have Sortable Paper's actually up to P6. He's got back past VSR Sarah in the Haas, and it looks like Key is going for the move back down the inside, and it looks like he's actually, nope, he's not been able to make it stick, and Eke manages to keep hold of the position. We have Top Tom battling with VSR Syrah as well. Battles further back all over the place, I'd say, as well on lap 1. Great battles going on as Eke is actually still managing just to keep hold as they come into the Mercedes grandstand section, where Vettel lost it during the actual 2018 race, as it looks like the Hungarian and ADT Kowalski have gone side by side briefly there. As it looks like the Hungarian has not actually managed to get the position on it. Has managed to actually get the position, he's still behind on the driver, as we've lost validated Viper from the race from the get-go, so that's real unfortunate as Top Tom gets a first time penalty of the race. Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win, as we note as well, as Validated Viper indeed has left. Validated Viper is holding on to the coattails of VSR Infamous for the race lead. He met back, and then back to the battle for P3. Key Mirror once again has swap positions, and he's went round the outside of Eke, but he's gonna be squeezed as Sawyer Papers down the inside. Very aggressive move from the McLaren driver, but it looks like he's gonna have to. He has to make aggressive moves to make this work. And it looks like Eke's actually been dropped right out of this. I've also noted that it seems to be that if we have a battle for the back, as ESR Mace has got past Mighty Dylan, and Urban Unicorn has managed to get past ADT Kowalski. I just think Urban Unicorn's actually made a huge mistake there. He's either locked up or he's had a huge issue. And Sortable Papers managed to get away from this battle. So now we have Top Tom on the back of the Williams of Key Mirror, and looking for the moves. The DRS will be enabled next lap. The gap between the top two is 7/10 of a second. Infamous is indeed pulling away a little bit from the Red Bull driver of Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win. And can Top Tom, there are two, next Key Mirror has actually picked up a time penalty, and it's very easy on that curb to pick up time penalties. As here goes Top Tom down the inside. Key Mirror has to back out as Top Tom does not leave a whole lot of space. It's like Syrah has got round the outside as well of Key Mirror and makes the move stick. And it looks like Key Mirror is going to be in trouble from Eke now as well. And can the Renault, who's been dropped back a fair few positions, be able to make a move? As actually it's the Hungarian up the inside. So the Hungarian is trying to make a move as well, but has to drop back into line as Sortable Paper and Top Tom are going to battle. So it looks like Top Tom has actually got past, so Sortable Paper's got a time penalty, and so is Ben Ziller. It was going to be all about, it's going to be, I think, all about not actually getting penalties this race, and if you can do so, they're still side by side. Sortable Paper trying to go round the outside of VSR Syrah, not able to do so, and it is back in a single file as they come through once again the Mercedes-Benz grandstand section. Into the final two corners we go. Benzella with another time penalty. He's got two in the space of a lap. Yeah, it's not good for him. As Key Mirror, it looks like right there, Key Mirror is going to try and make a move on Sortable Paper. It looks like his tires are maybe going to start going off soon. He's a little wide. Key Mirror is trying to go for the move, but it looks like look at this battle right here. This is amazing. How many cars are counting the cars in the shot right here? And it looks like Eke's made a move and he's managed to go round the inside. Sortable Paper though is going to make the move, re-stick again. And we're going to go back to this camera shot as Key Mirror is actually going to try and make a move on the bat and going round right round the inside. And I think they are three wide. Key Mirror actually is indeed up the inside, and he's managed to get back past. Back pass right there as Top Tom was passed by VSR Syrah in the meantime as well. And now Tom Battlers is actually now going to get Sortable Paper as well, as I think Sortable Paper's tyres are really starting to go off now. As here comes Eke, who's just being shafted constantly, just not getting any kind of luck of being able to go anywhere. As it looks like a Hungarian is going side by side with them as well. There's a Sauber out on the grass. I think that in the sand, that was Urban Unicorn. Side by side into the Mercedes-Benz grandstand section. Eke and the Hungarian. And I think Eke's just managed to make it stick, as Sortable Papers indeed had to pit off the Ultra Softs. He only lasted 5 laps, as would have thought. So he's indeed on a 2-stop strategy. He cannot go from ultras to I don't think ultras to mediums could go at the end. So it looks like Hungarian is very wide. Can ADT Kowalski make any kind of move? No, he cannot. The gap, as I say, maintaining between the top two. It is 0.5 of a second between Infamous and Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win, who's not able to really do anything. And again, this midfield battle is proving to be amazing. This Hungarian defending. Here comes ADT Kowalski, not able to do anything. The Hungarians defending the inside from Urban Unicorn, who's pushed out a little wide. This is going to help Tom Battlers, I think it is, pull away right here. And he's a few cars in front actually, so that's going to allow the Hungarian, as it looks like Urban Unicorn is trying to make a move on the Hungarian in the Force India. And he's not able to do anything as they go back into single file format through this section. Looks like there's a Renault at the back there. I think that is Amazed looking at a move on SVGE Aqua, who's also in this group. This group is not really split up yet, which is good. Racing has been excellent. It's NW Knowles actually moves himself from last up to P13, so he's had a great start and is looking very close to the actual group in front. So really it's all about, it looks like the gaps are maybe spreading it just a little bit as Mikey Dillon picks himself up a time penalty now. Gonna be all about just either no penalties or as minimal penalties as possible, as you don't really, because it could affect you in the long run at the end. As I saw briefly, the gap went down there, but still half a second between the lead, as it looks like Amazed has gone for a move on there. So there's a little bit of carbon fibre that's gone awry from the front, as Amazed has been shoved out a little bit wide by the driver there. I think that is Urban Unicorn, who's been in trouble, might have wing damage. So Amazed is trying to go around the outside. He's going to make a double move, and Amazed is going to indeed, but SVG Aqua, what a cutback right there from the Ferrari driver. He's not able to do anything with it though, and it looks like that Amazed does actually keep the position, and Noel has went for a move on the, I think, ailing Sauber car, who has got front wing damage, and he's not going to be impressed with that one, I don't think, because he really got screwed out of that one. Gap's starting to spread out just a little bit now from that initial melee of carnage. Not carnage, but just battling earlier on. ZDT Kowalski now adds his name as Hungarian, as well adds his name to the penalty list. And Amazed is now looking at the back of the Force India, and the Hungarian in the Force India. Can he make it stick as he heads down? He has the DRS with overtake mode in the ERS, and the Hungarian has gone defensive. Can he go around the outside? It's very late on the brakes from Amazed. He's going to lose all the hard work. Nope, he just keeps it in front of SVGE Aqua, and he's back down pretty much to where he started. Brake just a bit too late, and is back down to where he was. So it looks like Eke is very close in the back of Tom Battlers as well, but not really any place to make a move coming into this sector, as really you have to be alongside the driver and trust that the other driver that you're racing with is going to be able to leave you the most amount of space that they can leave while making the corners and being able to make and not lose time themselves. So Eke is actually going to have the DRS. Of course, 3 DRS zones on this track. This straight obviously right here, the straight that follows just after turn 1. Got to be careful not to cut either the inside or the outside. And then the final DRS zone that will be coming up in a second is we'll go on board with Eke and the Renault, see if he can make it stick. And a final DRS zone to be activated right here. Can he go for a move on Tom Battlers, who looks like he's going to go defensive? Indeed he does. And is he going to be able to go around the outside with the DRS? I think Tom Battlers may well be the latest of the late breakers. Indeed he is, but is Eke going to have more grip on the outside? No, he is not, but there is a huge amount of dust kicked up right behind there with ESR Amazed and the Hungarian. But Eke has not given up, trying to go round the outside. He's actually going to make it stick, because he's going to have the inside for the next corner. So nice move there by the Renault driver. But in back comes the Toro Rosso of Tom Battlers, coming back right at him, side by side as they head into the Mercedes-Benz grandstand section. But Tom Battlers backs out of the move, realising that he was not going to be able to make the move stick right there. The other battle, which is currently going on, and that is the battle that involves ESR Amazed, the Hungarian, and SVGE Aqua, who looks like he's closer to the Hungarian than the Hungarian is to ESR Amazed, who looks like he's struggling as Tom Battlers once again is going side by side. Wrong car. As it looks like there's a 3 battle now, and that's, this is going to be very close and tasty now. And here goes Eke, we're looking at the rear wing And here we go. Great camera shot. They're going to try and go 3 wide. No, they are not. But Tom Battler's is locked up. Great move by Kowalski, who gets the pair of them and has managed to get up the inside and takes P6 from Tom Battler's. Well, Tom Battler was paying attention to Eke, he was not paying attention to Kowalski, and Kowalski's managed to make them double move stick as SVG Yakwa picks himself up now a time penalty as well. Gap at the front remains to be about 6/10 and is looking stable round about that with Tom 1-2-3 for the win, not really able to make much in the way of inroads into VSR Infamous's lead. That gap has not really gone above a second, so really it's all about just VSR Infamous just keeping the lead. As it now looks, we have the 2 Renaults. I wonder if there will be any team orders there. I suspect probably not, as Tom Battlers comes into the pits to get out of that traffic. But now we have the 2 Renaults who are very close to each other. And can ESR Amaze make the move on Eke? I'm not really sure if he'll be close enough into this DRS zone, but if he can get close enough but not close enough to make the move, but not really make the move and actually leave himself the best opportunity not to have to worry about somebody coming straight back up. He comes straight back at him with the DRS rather. And it looks like, here we go, is this going to be the move? Indeed it is. It's not really much fight from Eke, of course, being in the same team. They don't really want to hold each other up. Oh, ESR Amazed indeed does make the move stick. And he's up into P7, with Eke dropping to P8. Still very close though between the two of them. I wonder if Eke's going to try and come back at him. No, he is not, but ESR Amazed is doing a lot of locking up of his front tyres. And it's not really going to be helping his tyre wear, unless that is just the glitch on my screen of the spectator glitch I'm seeing, and he's not actually locking up at all, which could potentially be the thing as well. Looks like Eke now can maybe be a rear guard from him against the Hungarian in the Force India and SVGE Aqua, who still currently has the current last spot in the top 10. He's on the medium, so he's still looking good. His Killer Snipes for some reason is on the Ultra Softs. I don't know why he's on the Ultra Softs. He's maybe gone for the wrong strategy. I'm maybe thinking on that one. As it looks like this really is the only battles that are currently going as NW. Knowles picked himself now up a time penalty as well. The gap has actually dropped a little bit to the top 2, as it's now 3/10 of a second between Tom 1-2-3 for the win and VSR Infamous, but it's going to run back up to about half a second just about there again. Looks like he's getting close, but he's just not quite getting close enough there, as again the DRS will be in effect but not able to do anything. ESR Maze is doing a lot. I'm not sure if that's actually him locking up or if that's just the spectator mode glitch, but he's doing a lot of locking up, but he does look quicker as we have a yellow flag, and that is Killer Snipes, who is retired from the session. And we have a virtual safety car, which is really going to help the drivers and could potentially open the door for pit stops. Taking a quick old breath there, and it gives me a bit of time to actually catch up a little bit. So, with the virtual safety car, we can go through as, of course, VSR Infamous and Tom 1-2-3 for the win have pitted, as well as VSR Syrah. I'm assuming that Tom indeed is going to pit as well. Indeed he does. And I think, nope, Syrah, I think indeed in comes that, as Eke has come in behind ESR Amaze. Then he's going to be, the 2 runners will have to indeed double stack. So it's like Key Mirror has actually not decided to pit. So he's indeed carried on his 5-second stop-go penalty for, I think that was someone coming to the pits. I'm not exactly sure who it was. I think it was Eke. Not 100% sure on that one, as SVG Aqua has actually got past VSR Syrah. So he's carrying on in the mediums, as we've lost the Hungarian from the race now as well. So he was in that battle, so now really he's not going to be able to take any further part. Is up the inside because VSR Syrah forces SVG Aqua very slightly wide. So Syrah now is going to be going to the end on those mediums. So Aqua got past him briefly, but then lost out. Tom 1-2-3 for the win is also now very close. First time these two have been within very close proximity to each other. And actually, no, the gap's about the same actually now, looking at it. It was about 1/10 briefly there for a second as Hungarian leaves the session. Not really in the best of spirits there, obviously, after what happened to him. So here comes Tom 1-2-3 for the win. Is he going to be able to do anything on the back of VSR Infamous into the first DRS zone? Not able to do anything. Is he going to be able to do anything with this DRS zone? I think he's indeed going to be a bit too far back once again. He's 2/10 behind. I don't think he'll want to make the move stick here though. He's in ERS mode 0, obviously saving for, and he's going to probably go into ERS probably, yep, indeed, overtake mode now, as Infamous will have to defend the inside line. Indeed, which he does, as Amaze picks himself up a time penalty. As we go to the exterior shot, Tom123 for the win is actually going to take the outright race lead, as Key Mirror has indeed not pitted yet. So Infamous has, for the first time in this race, lost the race lead. Can he recover? We will have to see. Looks like gaps are a little bit close again as we go back to Kowalski's trying to make a move on ESR Amazed, who looks like he didn't really come out well at that pit stop, obviously, with a lot of cars coming in. He looks like he got held up quite a bit. As the gap, really, it looks like Tom123 for the win and VSR Infamous looks like they have very, very similar pace. So it looks like that could be nip and tuck really in the battle for the current lead. As Key Mirror has went into the pits on the lap after everyone else. Because of how close everyone was, he might lose a fair bit of time as we got the aerial shot of the Mercedes grandstand section. So it looks like ADT Kowalski, who was very close to Amaze for a little bit, as Amaze then runs a little bit wide. So here comes Kowalski on, will he be able to make a move stick? I don't think he'll go for a move here. Ski Mirror, I think, is he going to come out ahead of this battle? I think he may well do. I think indeed he has. He is cleared. ESR Amazed and ADT Kowalski, as Kowalski was thinking about a move going into there. He's in ERS mode 1, which is low at the moment. As here he goes down, as he head into the final, what is the final DRS zone, and is going to be able to do anything. He's straight past the Renault. The Renault didn't really put up a lot of a fight there, I'd say, as we have Urban Unicorn, who's made a move on the Mercedes of NW Knoll right there. As Eke has also got past Tom Battlers. Looks like there's a three-way battle there currently near the back of the field. NW Knoll is currently a little bit of a bottleneck in the battle for what is currently P12, as Tom Battlers is up the inside again. Very, very manhandled in terms of how rough he was in making that move, but he has made the move stick on the Renault driver of Eke, who looks like he's really suffered from having to double stack behind his teammate Amazed, and obviously that didn't really help, as Mighty Dylan is pitted off of 6th place off of these soft tyres. SVGE Aqua has indeed carried on. Don't think he's going to be able to do a lot, as Eke's actually coming back a little bit. Nope, not close enough really to make anything stick. Looks like we have, these are Maze once again very close. He looks like he's trying to come back, but he's too far back. Looks like ADT Kowalski, who was obviously will have warmed up his mediums, will actually might be able to make a move at some point stick before Key Mirror's mediums have actually heated up properly. And it looks like Eke has actually managed to get past Tom Battlers again, and they're still stuck behind NW Knoll, who is just a bottleneck in the battle for what is now P11. And it looks like Eke has managed to restore his 11th place over Tom Battlers, who has dropped to P12. And looking at it, it looks like Tom Battlers has fell back a little bit from the battle. And as I say, going back while we're looking at this battle for the front, it is 0.3 of a second between VSR Infamous and Tom123 for the win. And that gap between 3 and 4/10 at the moment is just nip and tuck. Not really anything happening in terms of moves, really. So it's really just about not losing time. So it's actually 0.2 of a second now. So we'll go back to that battle, see what is actually going on. It looks like he's tried to go for an overtake just into the into the braking zone of the DRS, into the very tight left, right-hander. But he was not able to really make anything stick, and has indeed not really lost anything. And I keep on missing that. And Eke has managed to make a move stick, and NW Knoll looks like he's in trouble. No, he is not. He's managed to get past Tom Battlers, and Tom Battlers will not be amused by that, as he's lost a position to Eke, and there's now a car. Eke now has a car on worn tyres ahead, about the same lap actually. They both pit, as Tom Battlers on 6-lap old mediums, whereas Eke and Knoll are both on, I'd say, 4-lap old mediums, as you can see right there. And it looks like almost everyone at this point has probably made their stops. Miley, I think, actually had issues early on, so I think he will indeed have to pit again. And sortable paper, it looks like he's recovered a little bit. He's back into the points from earlier on being outside, obviously, and having started in the ultra softs, as we're having to go back into the battle. Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win, and VSR Infamous looks like they're going side by side once again. Looks like VSR Infamous will crowd out the Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win, and he's managed to get back past, and this is going to help VSR Sura close down the gap in P3, who's currently in clean air and not having to worry about fighting, because he is about a 3.2 second gap to Top Tom right behind him. And then Top Tom behind him has a huge gap, as well as Urban Unicorn has got past sortable paper, I think. Indeed he has in the DRS zone, just missed that as well. Sometimes really got going on, so really can't keep up with just about everything. As like sortable paper is going to try and go for the move again though, as Urban Unicorn defends the inside line. Sortable paper tries to go for the undercut, and not really able to make anything stick on the Alfa Romeo Sauber driver. And they head back into single file as they head once again through the Mercedes grandstand section. Sortable paper trying to go for the gap, as it looks like Urban Unicorn has fresher tyres by about 3 laps over the McLaren driver, and really looking like sort of the quicker driver at the moment. And it looks like Sortable paper has fell back just a little bit from the Alfa Romeo Sauber, sorry. These are Infamous and Top Tom 1, 2, 3. They're still side by side though, as Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win is going to get run out of road. Still side by side as VSR Infamous pops himself just in front there. And here we go once again into the final sector just about. And here we go. Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win. Trying to go for the move. VSR Sura is sort of slowly closing in on this gap. Very slowly but very surely, I think. My throat, sorry. As it looks like Infamous has managed to get the better of Tom 1, 2, 3 for them. I've got to stop saying that's too many Toms in this league. I wonder if this gap this may well come down to penalties, perhaps. Who has less in the way of them? I wonder. The DRS zones and just the overall just slipstream effect. If you get stuck in a DRS train, well, the car behind you gets DRS, you're never going to pull away because of the fact of that reason, as SVGE Aqua has finally pitted off his mediums and has gone onto the soft tyres. Look out for him later on the race, as he will be a major threat, I think, when he gets those softs up to temperature, as a big lockup from Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win. Not able to do anything as a result, as Infamous was blocking off the inside line there. And once again they go single file for the rest of the lap, as there's not really anywhere to make a move. It looks like Kowalski's getting very close to key mirror in the battle for P5 as well. It looks like Eke's got past sortable paper, I'd say. Indeed he has, heading into the DRS. NW No has got past, and so has Tom Battlers actually. So Tom Battlers has managed to make the move, and NW No. Is NW No going to come back? So it looks like here goes Tom Battlers down the inside, trying to go for the cutback. Some great battling here in the midfield area. And it looks like Tom Battlers will be on the outside, so he's just going to get crowded out of space. Miley's actually managed, and it looks like we have a yellow flag as well. Sortable paper has actually been passed, of course, there, as Miley is retired from the Grand Prix. So I think there's been an issue somewhere for him. And it looks like, as I say, Tom Battlers on 2 lap worst tyres as SVG Aqua. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's just come out of the pits and he's immediately out the race in the soft tyres. He's not going to be amused with that one. And it looks like he could have been a dark horse in the race, but it looks like Tom Battlers is going to try and go for a move on the Mercedes of NW No, who currently holds the final points position. And is he going to be able to do anything down the straight on the onboard shot? Let's see. As he heads through, NW No doesn't really defend the inside line, as here goes Tom Battlers down the inside. Sortable Papers trying to go for Mighty Dylan, actually is trying to go for a move as well. First time we've really seen him in this race in terms of on the screen time, and he's got past NW No as well. So NW No has been passed by 2 cars there, very wide from Mighty Dylan. Looks like that NW No is going to try and get the cutback. Two cars go side by side. Mighty Dylan runs NWNO out of road and forces him out wide, and looks like he's got the move done, but NWNO looks like he's still just about there, but it looks like they're still gonna have to he's gonna have to settle for being in behind the Ferrari driver. The sole remaining Ferrari driver looks like Infamous once again is going side by side with Tom. 1, 2, 3 for the win, and looks like he's got the inside. No, Infamous has managed to keep the race lead. Little bit of a shimmy from the rear end. Sorry about that. Shimmy from the rear end of the Mercedes, but he's able to keep his race, the current lead of the race. And Sura, out of all this, is now within 9/10 of a second, now 8/10. So really, it's anyone's game for the top three now, because Sura, the amount of battling that's been going on now has meant that Sura is just catching up. And Key Mirror now is a kind of in the battle for P5. Tom doesn't really have to worry behind him. He's kind of in no man's land. ADT Kowalski and ESR Amaze are within very short timescales of each other as Mai Lee leaves the session. Been a very unfortunate debut for the actual Force India driver right there, and he will be looking to come back stronger next time out, as we'll stay on board with this battle. It looks like we'll actually go on board with VSR Sura, who's at the rear of this train. Can the Brazilian in the Haas car make any moves on the two in front? Looks like he's a tiny bit too far back. He's within 2:10, seeing ELX to not go for the move. Kind of a bit wiser, as he wasn't really. This is a huge moment for VSR Sura. That's not really going to help him as he came out of the corner. Kind of a thing of sometimes these drivers, if they run no traction, you've got to be careful of traction coming out of corners, otherwise you'll just spin up the rears and end up running wide or almost running off. Key Mirrors got past the... It looks like Key Mirror's actually really struggling. It looks like ESR Maze is trying to go round the outside of the... Whoa, there's contact right there. So it looks like Key Mirror has just been forced out well wide. It's a bit aggressive there from ESR Maze. I think something may well be said about that one. I don't think he'll be best amused about that one, because that was just a little too aggressive there from the Renault driver of ESR Maze to just go for that. Just no need to be that aggressive, really. And he's just forced Key Mirror way out wide, but he's still in P7, so hopefully he didn't get wing damage from that incident. And he managed to he loses minimal amount of time as to where he was, as we have the other Sauber of Urban Unicorn on the back of Eke, not really close enough to make a move. It looks like Tom, 1, 2, 3 for the win, is maybe going to try and go for a move. No, I think he's just come out of the final DRS zone on the track and into what is probably a more harder section to make a move in. And it looks like now it's anyone's guess, because Infamous just has to defend his line. Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win has to defend and attack at the same time, and Sura can just attack. Like Eke's made a move on the... losing breath slightly. Urban Unicorn has made a move on Eke and has moved himself up into P8. ESR Maze has picked himself up yet another time penalty. These could come back to really haunt in the end. We'll see what happens. Is anything going to happen? Nope. Eke thinks about the dummy right there, but he's not able to do anything. It's a little wide from Urban Unicorn into the Mercedes grandstand section and Sachs curve, but not able to do anything as they head through and into the final sector. They're going to be able to do anything, as it looks like VSR Sura is actually going to be very close. It looks like, yep, VSR Sura fakes to the outside, goes to the inside, not able to do anything. Tom 1, 2, 3 for the win, trying to go for the outside on VSR Infamous, not able to do anything once again. And here we go once again into what is Sura not able to really do anything once again. And as we head into the final sector, it looks like Sura's very close, not able to really do much with this at this point though, because of the fact it's kind of a one-line corner unless you're alongside someone. And here we go into the Sachs curve and the Mercedes-Benz grandstand section. Very short laps around here. So really, it's all about trying to make it work, because we're already on lap 24 of 34. This race has gone really quick. And it looks like that Tom123 for the win. It looks like he's outside half a second once again. Is he going to be able to do anything in bringing that gap down once again? His key mirror looks like he's back within DRS and looking to get the pass done. Looks like he may well be trying to do a pass once again and make amends for the fact that ESR Mays just shoved him straight off earlier on. Looking like he might well try and do so. And Eke and Urban Unicorn are still, looks like they're very close as well. As here comes Tom123 for the win. Is he going to try and go for it? Not really. Sarah still sits in behind. He tucks under the rear wing of the Red Bull, right into the diffuser pretty much. He's pushing the Red Bull down pretty much through that section right there. Very wide from Tom123 for the win. This gives Sarah a chance at him. Is he going to be able to do anything? No, he is not. Not in this case. And here they go into the Mercedes-Benz Grand section and Sachs curve. Not going to be able to do anything as Eke and Urban Unicorn. I think Eke's managed to make the move into the DRS zone, having gone down the inside, either inside or the outside. As here comes Urban Unicorn down the inside. Eke runs a little wide. He's very wide actually. Urban Unicorn gets his switchback, but he's on the outside. And here he comes. Here comes around the outside, and he's indeed made the move stick. As it looks like Sarah is going to be very close once again. We'll come back to Eke and that once again. Once they've gone through, as they come through into what is the final DRS zone on the track, and Sarah is closer and putting the pressure on Tom123 for the win. And the Red Bull pretty much looks like he's almost pushing him down the third DRS straight. Oh, it's very, very late on the brakes. And it looks like he's made it stick. He runs the Red Bull out of road. And it looks like this might soon bring Tom123 for the win into this battle as well, because he's looking very close. Going board with Key Mirror. Looks like he's trying to go for a move on ESR and Mays. Key Mirror's up the inside. Runs the Renault out of road just like the Renault did to him just a few laps ago. And it looks like he's made it stick. Get my breath back there for a brief second, as it looks like it's calmed down just a little bit. It looks like Sarah, after he got past, it looks very wide from ASR Amazed. Looks like he had a little bit of a wobble as he came through into the third sector. Sorry, I have to do this. Oh. As here we go, it looks like the gaps have indeed now closed a little bit. It looks like Sarah now looking to prove that he can do the business in the dry as well as the wet. Can he do anything? He'll be a bit too far back, I think, on Infamous. Infamous won't feel the need to defend yet. He goes into it though. Urban Unicorn has pit off of the mediums. Looks like he will be going on to the softs or maybe even the ultras. Finish off his race. As we'll stay on board with Sarah just for a little bit longer to see if he can make the move stick on Infamous. Not really a place you can make the move stick. We'll go back to the outboard shots. And here comes Sarah, not really able to do anything. No cutback really there whatsoever that could be made. Tom123 for the win. 123 for the win now has the advantage of being able to sit behind this queue and not really have to worry about making a move and putting himself in jeopardy, of course, if he has to do so, if he does so when he makes the move. As here we go through the final corner, the first of the DRS zones once again. Here comes Sarah, probably not going to make the move DRS, and making Infamous, who leads the race, do all the work in terms of using up his ERS supply. And it looks like he's going to try and make it now, as indeed Infamous has felt the need to go defensive. Sarah round the outside. This is for the race lead, to Sarah to take the race lead for the first time in this race. He started from P7 on the grid and he now takes the race lead. Can Infamous come back at him? I'm not sure if he will at the moment. He's going to wait. At the moment, a little bit of lockup from both of them right there. And Tom123 watches on right there as ESR Amazed falls back out of a second of Key Mirror. Looks like Key Mirror might well have the edge on him there. And Mighty Dylan looks like he may will soon be coming into a battle with NWO once again. Those two have gone and had battles quite a few times this race. We're going to find them on track. So it looks like he's trying to make a move into the Thingway, and it looks Tom123 for the win has got another time penalty. Mighty Dylan has made the move stick on NWO, but can NWO come back at him? Not sure if he can really do much about that just now. So it looks like Tom 123's actually fell out of DRS range of these two. It looks like he's made a small mistake. I think he may have run wide or locked up and ran wide. And that has caused a huge issue, as it looks like we've got Urban Unicorn on the Ultra Softs, who is going to be hugely quicker. As it looks like we have VSR Serra, who's actually trying to go, is defending the lead from VSR Infamous, his fellow clan mate. There's no love lost between these two, as here comes down the inside VSR Infamous, not able to do anything with that. Of course, because of the fact that really he was just gonna be undercut if he wasn't careful. This sortable paper gets another time penalty right there, and he's went onto the soft tires, and he's indeed now out of the points once again in P13. Really, that two-stop has not worked out for the McLaren driver, and not really worked out well for the rookies in general, because they're really not really done all that well, as it looks like Urban Unicorn on the Ultrasofts has made the move stick on Mighty Dylan. It looks like he's just going to pull away from the Ferrari driver, and a little bit of weaving there from Mighty Dylan, just saying no, you're not getting through me there. Get stuffed. And it looks like Noah is not able to really do anything, and this is really just for a battle for P11 at this moment in time. You see, positions matter. It doesn't matter where you're looking at the moment. There's battles at some points throughout the field. So really, it's only come down to that, as it looks like Serra has actually been repassed down the straight. Just missed that once again, down the straight by VSR Infamous, and not really able to make any. But Serra is not done yet with 4 laps to go. They're all in pretty much the top 5 are all in the same lap old medium tires, 18 laps old. Key Mitter's on 2 lap younger tires, and it looks like he's starting to close in a little bit in ADT Kowalski, who looks like he's in no man's land in P5, looking like he's going to finish there unless time penalties come into it. I'm going to assume at this point that most of the drivers are going to have time penalties, because the amount I've just seen pop up. Go on board with Serra, see if he can, for the next next 2 DRS zones, see if he can do anything. Very tactically, oh, there's another time penalty for Serra. Very tactically, just using his ERS, going down into none when he gets close to the Mercedes in the first 2 zones. This is a zone that matters though, and this one, looks like he's not really. Has Infamous gone defensive? No, he has not. He's left the inside door wide open for Serra, realizing that it's not really worth it defending too much. He just has to go back down the inside again. A beautiful cutback. Not able to make anything work of that cutback though from VSR Infamous. Looking like that he's actually managed. It looks like Urban Unicorn has had to pit again. So it looks like he's had issues. Urban Unicorn is done for this race. So that's him done, and Mighty Dylan is into the points. And NW Noel has had to pit as well, so I think he's been involved in that incident with Urban Unicorn. So that's kind of unfortunate. So now we only have 12 drivers left from the 19 who started. So the running order at this moment in time, as we head on to what will be lap 32, it is VSR Serra who leads the race in the Haas from VSR Infamous in the Mercedes. Tom 123 for the win is lagging a little behind now. In the Red Bull, with Tom 2.2 seconds behind him in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. The sole remaining Alfa Romeo Sauber in this race now is ADT Kowalski. In no one's land, as mentioned earlier, in P5 in the McLaren. Key Mirror in P6 in the Williams. Decent drive for him. You feel like he could have done a little better. Issa Amazed in P7, aka his teammate in P8. Only 2 Renaults in the race, actually. Team with two drivers in the race. In P7 and 8. Tom Battler's in P9, with Mighty Dylan in P10, and just as at the points, it is Sortable Paper and NW Knoll at this moment in time, with Sortable Paper catching up what looks like a little bit to Mighty Dylan and could challenge for that final point, but is he going to catch up in time? And it looks like Infamous is not really made any impression on Serra this lap, so he's not able to really do all that much. So he'll be looking to see if he can actually do anything. We'll go on board with the Mercedes driver, see if he can actually do anything through the DRS zones. Of course, he's not going to make the move into these early DRS, the first or the second DRS zone, because it wouldn't really be worth it. He's in rich ERS mode at this moment in time. And it looks like he's just going to go, he's actually in mode 4, but he's not close enough to the Haas car of Serra. It's all really going to come down to penalties. He goes down to low ERS mode just briefly, as he's very low on ERS, as probably will be Serra as well. Having to defend so much as 1/10 of a second as Infamous tries to go round the outside of the Haas of VSR Serra. Trying to do his hat, Serra tries to run him out of road, but Serra's managed to get past on the penultimate lap, so it looks like Serra will have possibly the last lap if they come onto the final lap. As Serra's actually trying to go down the inside now, but it's probably best for him really to wait. And it looks like Serra's actually gone back around the outside again, so really proving me wrong right there, Serra. It's a nice move. So, as here we go, the battles really have thinned out now, so really this is the only one going on. It is probably the most important battle for the race. And it's for the race lead. Beautiful camera shot. Tom123 for the win, I think, has lost pace now. He is out of this the battle for the race lead. And it looks like he's going to come under pressure from top Tom123. Infamous is in the pits. What's happened to Infamous? I have no idea what the hell's just happened. Infamous has just suddenly just dipped into the pits. And... what? I'm not sure what's just happened there. Infamous has just came in. Confused a bit there. Alright. Serra's going to have an easy run to the line then, I'm going to assume. I'm wondering if he had wing damage or they haven't repaired his wing damage, because he's... I'm not sure about that one, to be honest. Interesting strategy call from Infamous. He's really just thrown away the race win, I'd say there. So... don't know if we'll be able to get any thoughts on what he thinks about that afterwards, to be honest. And the final battle, I think it will be for the points, is looking Infamous is immediately cleared. Key Mirror, who's on 20 lap, all tyres, but the man of the day, and most likely looking like he will win this race, is EDT Kowalski. He's lost a lot of positions, he's now down to P6. It is going to be VSR Serra on coming around the final corner. The Brazilian Haas driver wins the German Grand Prix. And it looks like Tom123 is going to come ahead of Top Tom. Infamous will actually get P4, so really, he only lost 2 positions in the end. Interesting strategy call, I must say, to go onto those tyres. And Key Mirror will come home in P5. ESR Maze will come home P6. ADT Kowalski, who I think had an incident on what was the final corner, and it looks like Eke might get him on the line. No, he will not. But he will get him on penalties. As Eke had a 5-second stop go, though, and that still didn't matter. And Tom Battlers will come through in P9 in the Toro Rosso, and it looks like the final point scorer is going to be Mighty Dylan in the Ferrari. Maybe not. Is he going to have enough? He's out of fuel, and Sortable Paper has gone straight into the back of him and just let him go across the line and win. And that is all she wrote for this German Grand Prix. Some great battles early on. Not so many later on. Well, not some great battles early on. Not so many later in the race. But in the end, VSR Serra wins the Grand Prix from P7 on the grid. So well done to the Brazilian in the Haas car, with Tom123 for the win second. Really a bit fortunate because he was dropping away at the end, and final podium spot goes to Top Tom123, who probably would have finished 4th had Infamous not come into the pits. So confusing one in that one, to be honest, from Infamous. Still not sure fully about what he was doing there. So anyways, everyone had penalties, so it didn't really matter in the end. Only one place was really settled by penalties, so it's Serra who wins the Grand Prix from Tom123 for the win. Top Tom completes the podium. VSR Infamous P4. Key Mirror P5. ESR Maze P6. Eke P7, so 6 and 7 for the Renaults. 8th place for ADT Kowalski. He drops down another place. Tom Battlers in P9. Mighty Dylan gets the final point. Just outside the points then, it is Sortable Paper and NW Knoll who were the final finishers. It's Urban Unicorn, SVGE Aqua, Miley 41, the Hungarian, Killer Snipes, Benziller, and Validated Viper were all of the finishers who did not make the end of the race. So, we will now go back to what will be the main lobby, really. And while we're waiting, I'll get some final thoughts on what I think on those races. I'm a little bit out of breath after that one. Yeah, really should have water next to me while I'm doing this doing commentaries, to be honest. The last time I was out of breath was actually a long time ago when I was doing commentary. Kind of a thing when you kind of have just doing solo comms, to be honest. So as we leave the lobby, well done, of course, to the top 3. And the next round of the championship will take us to, if you give me 1 second of a quick check, the Hungarian Grand Prix. A very difficult circuit to overtake on, actually. So it'll be interesting to see how the drivers get on. But until then, this has been FORL Season 6, GP1 from Round 6 at the German Grand Prix from the Hockenheim circuit. I have been your commentator, and I will bow farewell.